all the time. When the marriage time comes, it takes place. Now at the time of Muhammad Sahib, a big question arose because there were very few ladies, very few men and many ladies of all age groups. And they didn't know what to do, how to save these girls, because so many men died in the war. So then they asked what to do now at this juncture. I mean, a position when such a catastrophe is there and so many women are there and very few men, then he said, all right, you can marry 4 or 5 wives and you can marry any age group, because if you have to live with dharma, means marriage, means collective sanction, not without marriage. So he said, all right, you can even marry 5 times, but you must marry. Without marriage you cannot live. And that is why he was particular that every person should be married and should have no relationship without marriage. It was sin. Instead of that, now Muslims think that it is their right to marry 5 persons. I mean, when the men are more and women are less. Is that wrong? You have to find out a solution. And at that time, the relationship between even the sisters and brothers, he had to delimit, because there was a big problem. So he said, all right, the children born of the same parents cannot marry, but cousins could marry. That time. Now that time is changed. All right. It's not that time. We are not on war. There's nothing happening like that. There's no such problem. So let us develop now our pure relationship of brothers and sisters. Actually, first time when we had this Diwali function, I asked people to find one sister for yourself. Every gentleman must have one sister, to find out one. And then that is the day I said, let us start this way, that next time when we meet on another day called as, that's a Purnima, Rakhi Purnima, that you tie the Rakhi in the hand, the same brothers and sisters. In India also we did like that, and it worked very well. So, but there the relationships are so strong. Once Dhumar, you see, I think tied it to Raul Bhai. And now even if I say something to Raul Bhai, he doesn't like. It's to that extent. It's so sweet, you know. And even Dhumar's wife respects Raul Bhai as an elder sister, you see. It's very sweet. Like that, many relationships are established. And next year, I think Raul Bhai became the sister of one of our trustees who is no more there. And she always carried on all that relationship. And they also, I mean, imagine, the whole thing is that that relationship is so special, so close, and so pure. And such a relationship one should develop with a lady, any woman or any friend you want to have. And one should remember that it cannot cross a certain limit. There has to have a maryada. Otherwise they become brothers and sisters and then they marry. It's not possible. So we have to have the boundaries. That is very important. In Sahaja Yoga we have to have maryadas and boundaries. And one of them is this, that once you call somebody a brother or a sister, it's an absolutely pure relationship. Little further we'll go with that, and that the relationship with the, as I had told you before, that with your, say, a husband's younger brothers is just like that. They are like your younger brothers, all of them. Husbands, younger brothers, or younger Sahajogis than your husband are. The other way around is for all the ladies, we can say all the men, their wives, elder ladies, elder to wives, are like sisters, elder sisters. I mean, this relationship is so sweet and gives you a certain amount of understanding how much distance is kept with whom to be free and with whom to have the distance. And this must be maintained in such a beautiful way that this purity is not corrupted. We keep to pure standards. This is the nourishment of Sahaja, is the nourishment of yoga, purity. Purity is the most important thing for us. Purity in every way. If you are pure, you will not do anything that is fake. That is, we can say, that is not pure. So first of all, you will be pure yourself, and you will accept purity. You will appreciate purity, stand by purity. Any impurity you will not collaborate with or try to compromise with. That's why purity is your mother's name. You know that my name is purity. And this purity is such that it pures everything. It just purifies. The purity should be such that it should purify. Otherwise that purity has no meaning. For example, a soap purifies, alright? But you don't purify the soap. Do you clean the soap? I mean, some crazy people might be. I know some people who even wash the tap and also the water. And that's why this water, which is the purifier. Water is the purifier. Water purifies us physically. And also our poisons are driven out of our liver also by water. Water is a very great element in removing all problems. You use water for so many things, you know how you got that. So this Lakshmi, which is purification, was born out of water. That's why she was called as Mary, as I told you. And I am also called as Neera, meaning born out of water. So one has to understand that today's message is that we inculcate purity. We should not cheat ourselves. It's really easy to cheat, but we should inculcate purity within ourselves as a matter of our own achievement, as our own decoration, as our own beauty, and not just because it's a laborious thing or it is a very hard thing, not like that. It should be achieved with great pleasure and happiness. How do we like to have a bath and to be clean and to be presentable? In the same way, we should try to clean our thoughts. Just by paying attention to them, you can clean them. Thoughts must be made clean. First of all, why have thoughts at all? But even if you have clean and pure thoughts. Even if you have to have, don't have thoughts full of arrogance, aggression or of fear. Some people think that if you have thoughts of fear, it's a very good thing. Oh, I am frightened. I am afraid. It's impurity. Why should you be afraid? That means you're left with this kind. There's no need to have any fear of any kind. No need to have any fear of any kind. If you have to have fear, that means there's something wrong with you. If you believe that God is above all, you are a realized soul, and that God is going to look after you, that He is your Father, and that He has opened His gates to you, what is there to be afraid of? Many people think that way, that if you have the fears, you are humble. Humility is different from a frightened person. It's absolutely a different thing. It has nothing to do with humility. So, to be humble is different, and to be frightened is different. For Sahaja Yogis, it is very easy to find out through their vibratory awareness what is fear and what is humility. Because humility will give you vibration and fear will catch all your left side. So, our purification of our mind comes through certain methods of understanding ourselves. First of the understanding one has to have that we are born in a family, born in a society, born in a so-called religious sect or whatever. So all these fixations have put into us certain amount of impurity, which may give us ego, superego, anything it might be. So to keep it pure and simple is take to water element as much as you can. It helps both ways. It helps ego, it helps superego. Take to water element. And that is what Lakshmi is. Lakshmi is the one that gives you the Mahalakshmi Tattva. From the Lakshmi only the Mahalakshmi principle comes in. And this is after the purification through the Lakshmi process. Christ has said, if you want, I can give you gold bars. You can live with it. But those who love me will only enter into the kingdom of God. And I will eat with them. Means those who are pure only I will eat with them. I will not eat with people who are impure. Even so, all the incarnations are aware of it, that they have to be with the pure people and they have to help the pure people. But he so clearly said it, that if you want Lakshmi, you can have it. That's money. But that's not Mahalakshmi. So from Lakshmi to Mahalakshmi state. You have already got your realization, you do not know how much you have got it already. You are already having the Mahalakshmi principle. And what is the Mahalakshmi principle? That's the point.